Hey, this is Anthony with RevZilla TV, and welcome to our 2011 Race Gauntlet Guide. This guide is part of our spring and summer warm weather guide collection, and you can find that whole range of videos at RevZilla.com/summer. So what you see in front of me are 3 groups of gloves. I have 9 total gloves. There are a ton of racetrack legal full gauntlet gloves that we sell on RevZilla.com. What we want to do today in this video is we're going to start out at a very high level, and then we're going to get a little more granular. But really, at 3 different tiers of functionality, give you 3 what we call our staple options. And they're going to be options that are technical enough, provide a solid amount of protection, as well as bang for the buck. The first group we have is going to be mid-range gloves. The second group we have is going to be hardcore gloves. And the third group we have is going to be what we call pro-level gloves. The difference being, we don't really call a track glove an entry-level glove. There are some less expensive entry-level gloves out there, but we think that anyone who's taking the time to suit themselves up and get on the racetrack, whether it's a track day or if you're getting into racing, we think that there's a minimum level of protection, and what we're doing is we're saying you should jump in at what we call the mid-range of glove. So that's going to be these first 3. They're going to range from the $120 to $150 range, and you're going to have the Shift Vertex, the Dainese Pro Carbon, as well as the Icon Overlord. Moving into what we call hardcore, these are going to be gloves that range from about that 150 to 220 range. These are going to be the Teknic Xcelerator, the Alpinestars GP Pro, and then the new REV'IT Tarmac for 2011. And when you take a step past that, what we think, these are our pro-level gloves. These are what we think are the most boiled down, best option. It's going to be ridden by many World Superbike guys, MotoGP level guys. It's going to be the Held Phantom, the REV'IT Jerez, as well as the Dainese Full Metal Pro. Now we have a full detailed breakdown of any of these gloves in complete depth on any of these glove pages on RevZilla.com. In this video, in the next stage, what I'm going to do is walk through tier by tier and really give you the nuances of why we included them in our gear guide, really what are the key distinguishing factors of what we think the average rider, why they would gravitate towards them as being the one glove for them, and we'll go from there. So moving into our first tier of gloves here, again, what we call mid-range. These are not entry-level. These provide a significant amount of protection as well as bang for the buck. We're going to start with the Shift Vertex. This is our least expensive glove on the table at $129. Comes in a few colors. The reasons why we included it is we think it's a lot of glove for $129. It's a single cuff closure with a wrist adjuster. One of the things we loved about it is the ventilation scheme as well as the fit. It's cowhide construction. They spent a lot of time on the details, double stitching. You also have reinforcement on the outside of the pinky. Notice that the hard part along the main knuckle construction, mid-digital, and then you had vented sliders as well. So at $129, again, it's a mix of cowhide, it's a mix of hard part functionality, and we felt that at $129, there are a few gloves that we have that provide this amount of technology and protection. So really, it's the bang for the buck factor and the fit that kept this in the mix. The next glove up is going to be $149, the Dainese Pro Carbon. Now we're into Dainese, we're into Italian leather. There are a handful of gloves in the Dainese range that are between $100 and $200. This is our favorite. We think it's the best mix of style as well as functionality at $149. So you're going to have cowhide, you're going to have a carbon knuckle with a coating on it, elasticated panels, soft inserts, as well as carbon sliders in the ring finger. And then this is the first time that we see outside of the pinky thermoplastic, which is the guard against the low side torsion on your finger. A very common break is the outside of the hand. You're going to see that in every glove going on the way up. You'll see some type of reinforcement, but this is one of the reasons we put this in the mix is the style of it at $149 as well as the upgraded protection. Again, single adjuster, single cuff, reinforced palm, soft inserts here at the heel of the hand, but again, just a great option from Dainese. And then the third glove in this mid-range, it's actually the one that I'm most excited about, and we know there's a huge Icon contingent out there. This is Icon's new race glove. It's called the Overlord. $145. This is actually a bit big for me. They've all been extra large so far, and I'm in between. I would actually say that if I'm racing in this guy, I'm wearing a large where I'm an extra large in the Vertex and the Pro Carbon. But check this out. Lots of functionality. You have hard part sliders that are vented across the knuckles, vented hard parts in each mid-digit. All of that yellow stitching is aramid, which is Kevlar. Kevlar stitching, multiple panels here for breathability. They cover up perforated panels. You're also going to have ulna protection right here on the outside of the hand, which is a very common spot, and you have that double layer of reinforcement going up along the back of the pinky. As I pull this guy over, you're going to see reinforced Pitard's leather in the control areas, and this is a kangaroo palm with pre-curved fingers and external stitching for $145. We know there's a huge Icon fan base out there that's going to love it just because it's Icon. We love it because it costs $145, and there's a ton of protection and a ton of functionality built into this glove. I will say it's American cut compared to just about everything we have on the table. This guy I'm going to be a large in, everything else I'm about an extra large, and they run pretty even. So that's the Icon Overlord, the Pro Carbon, and then the Vertex in that first tier. So moving into our second tier of glove here, we have three in front of me. We have the Teknic Xcelerator, the REV'IT Tarmac, as well as the Alpinestars GP Pro. You can have 161, 189, 229. And really, this is the hardcore functionality. This is a guy who's been to the track, knows what he likes, knows what he wants. Is there enough to where he's willing to make that extra investment of 10 or 20% more to get upgraded protection, upgraded fit, and some of the additional features that are going to make you more comfortable in riding, be a little more technical, but really it's offering hardcore levels of protection. Let's start with the Teknic at 161, and this is really a standout glove for a couple reasons. I'm going to put it on. This is a size extra large. This is my size. The first thing is you see that yellow palm. That's kangaroo palm. So this is the only glove in this second tier here that has a kangaroo palm, and it's the least expensive at 161. The other thing I love about it, and you don't see this on any other glove that we carry, is the Knox scaphoid sliders here at the base of the palm. So rather than having a dual compound slider here, you're going to have these scaphoids which protect the scaphoid bones, the small bones at the beginning of your wrist here, that typically if you go down and do this, you're going to slide versus breaking those small bones. It's a common track injury. So you have the kangaroo palm, the scaphoid, you have cowhide, you have the air blade system, tons of vented thermoplastic sliders outside of the hand pinky protection, and the other thing I love here is the radius and ulna protection. So radius, ulna hard part slider, again, is going to protect you in that low side crash. Lots and lots of glove at $160. We've carried this for over a year. It sells really well. We have good feedback on it. And there's no way that it wouldn't be in this second tier. You know, almost for the price range, you could probably squeeze it into that first tier, but it offers so much bang for the buck that you have to bring it up into this hardcore category. Moving forward, now we have the REV'IT Tarmac. REV'IT Tarmac's new for 2011. It's Kevlar lined. It's a tri-fleece liner. This is the baby brother of the REV'IT Jerez, which is the pro level glove that Depunier is wearing in MotoGP. Double cuff closure. It's going to be goat skin, heavy pre-curve, external stitching. The Teknic didn't have the external stitching, but those external stitchings are flat on the inside. They're very comfortable. Dual compound honeycomb slider, dual compound and coated knuckle system, the same as the Jerez. And you have extra reinforcement, stretch paneling, as well as thermoplastic across these knuckles for slide. $189. You know you're getting top end. The Dutch design. It's going to match really well with the REV'IT line of suits. Again, new for this year. We're big fans of it. We think that it provides a significant amount of value. It's a very refined glove from REV'IT. Comes in a handful of colors at $189. And then from there, the last glove that we've picked is one of our, it is our best-selling Alpinestars race glove. That's why we included it here today. It's the one that customers seem to have the most positive feedback for the amount of people that crash in it every year. This is the GP Pro. It's actually $229. You could see it's a mix of its heavy pre-shape, external seams, it's cowhide, it's using the Alpinestars hard parts and TPRs with a lot of stretch and flexion here. You'll notice we have the split knuckle that also ventilates to the hand. We have the ring finger, pinky finger bridge, which guards against twisting that little finger in a low side crash. A good amount of soft inserts and protection, and you have this 180 degrees hard part, which is really a thermoplastic piece that creates this full gauntlet and comes down here across the outside of your wrist. We're big fans of that. Notice it's a little bit of a different closure. It's single cuff than what we've seen. You have good perforation scheme, and you have a flap with a wrist adjuster there. And then again, up along the outside of the pinky, it's double reinforced. There are soft inserts behind it, and you also have a slider. So the GP Pro comes in a few colors from Alpinestars as well. And remember, there's full videos on all of these guys on the product pages, so I'm just going through them very briefly. So you have 161, 189, 229, and what we're calling our three favorites in the hardcore range for 2011. So moving on from our hardcore gloves to our pro level gloves. We picked out three. They're going to be our favorite. They're our three most best-selling gloves that customers seem to gravitate towards. And when I get through them, you're going to realize why that is. The first one is the REV'IT Jerez, which has been around for a few years. This glove is actually $250. This provides a tremendous amount of bang for the buck at $250. This is the glove that Alvaro Bautista and Randy Depunier are wearing in MotoGP. External stitching, it's a mixture of, it's a kangaroo palm, it's Kevlar lined, it's going to have cowhide, it's going to have goat skin, it's going to have Pitard's leather, super fabric ceramic plate panels for sliding, and then notice the back of the hand here. Lots of reinforcement, dual compound slider with an aluminum knuckle, thermoplastic sliders, reinforcement up the pinky, as well as ulna protection on the outside of the hand with an aluminum dual compound insert here as well. $249, this is what I'm currently wearing on the track. I have a black version, a lot of different colors. A ton of comfort and bang for the buck in this glove. It does a lot of things well. It actually won the Red Dot Design Award for those of you in the fashion world that knows what that means. This is just a superbly designed glove and a tremendous value at $249. This is the REV'IT Jerez. Moving up to the Held Phantom, another extremely popular glove, comes in a handful of colors, and it's going to be $279. It's a full kangaroo glove. From the palm through the back. It's all kangaroo. It's a single layer at the palm with flat seam construction and a pre-curve. The back is going to be reinforced. You have a coated knuckle. You have stingray panels that are gel back. Notice them on the mid digits, as well as the palm of the hand here that's backed with the gel. Stingray slides really well. It's just like super fabric, only it comes from nature. Reinforcement up the pinky. Notice that we have, there's actually Nomex behind this along the knuckle and in the wrist area for this full gauntlet, and you also have hard part sliders. What Nomex does is it doesn't allow heat to transfer to your hand. It's a single cuff design with a micro adjustment on the outside of the wrist. This is the Held Phantom. Notice the left side has a visor wiper as well. Extremely popular, extremely, you know, it's going to be a good mix of being lightweight and flexible, so you have a lot of tactile response from your controls, but also being very strong. Moving on, last but not least, it's the Dainese Full Metal Pro. This is the same glove that Valentino Rossi wears, so it's an obvious choice. Obviously, his is bright yellow and has his branding on it, but really it's a mixture of cowhide rather, Kevlar stitching, titanium knuckle and back of the hand protection that's set in carbon fiber. You have the Dainese distortion control system, which is an external hard part with stitched in hard parts that go all the way up the finger, carbon fiber sliders on the knuckles, a lot of elasticated panels for movement. Notice that we have the double stitching that goes throughout with the reinforced layering. As I come over here, you have you have a raised plastic panel for the grip control, reinforced areas with thermoplastic sliders in the heel of the hand. Again, we have full videos on all of these guys, but this is the $350 option. This is actually the most expensive race glove that we sell, but it packs a lot of features. It's the only one using titanium, and again, if the greatest racer of all time is wearing it, you know, there's a lot of social proofing in that if it's good enough for Valentino, it's probably good enough for anybody else out there on the track as well. So as I mentioned, for this whole breakdown, you have your pro level, your hardcore, and your mid-range. We have a video for all of these gloves. Make sure you check them out. If you have further questions about how these gloves stack up with anything that's on the table or against any of the other gloves in our lineup, there are tons of other gloves to choose from. These are just our 9 favorites for each category. Shoot us a line. See us at RevZilla.com or 877-792-9455. Any of these gloves are over $39. They ship for free. If you get the wrong size, send it back to us. We'll exchange them for free. And if you just don't like it, send it back in brand new condition. There's never a restock fee with us. We'll give you 100% back to your credit card. You'd also earn TeamZilla Cash, which allows you to earn some money towards your next order. It's our way of saving you some money in the long run at RevZilla.com. Thanks for watching today. Remember, the full spring-summer guides are available at RevZilla.com/summer. It's part of our full lineup of guides for this year. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm Anthony. Thanks for watching today. We'll see you next time on RevZilla TV.